Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Giuseppina, and I'm an intuitive healer. I talk about themes surrounding healing, changing our subconscious programming, healing from trauma and narcissistic abuse, as well as recently neurodivergent themes. So, welcome to my channel. Hit like and subscribe if you can. That'd be great. What are we talking about today? We're talking about why is it that we lose friends when we're doing healing work and going through a spiritual awakening? Why does that happen? We hear that a lot, and that we lose friends and it feels like an isolating period and all that stuff. But why is that happening? What's going on? So let's talk about that. We've all heard the expression, your vibe attracts your tribe, birds of a feather flock together, and those things. And the thing is that all of those sayings exist for a reason, and that is because it's true. We all have a frequency. Everything has a frequency around us. Literally everything. Like even these things, objects around me right now have a frequency. And so what ends up happening is that we meet people in our lives through various situations, experiences, or our similarities, things we have in common. We meet people, and the people that we connect with, that we are friends with, whether they're like at work, in school, communities, and things like that, the people that you end up sticking with, like you have things in common, similarities. There is some type of frequency. Even people that have like the same subconscious programming or, you know, patterns within them, they will stick to those types of people because it's your frequency. This is your blueprint and stuff like that. And so you kind of, I guess, fit nicely with those people, for lack of better words. And so your frequency, it determines who you're going to hang with. And so like stays with like. So you create friendships and connections based on that, right? So that's the basic level. But what happens now when you start to do healing work and you start to go through a spiritual awakening? You go through a dark night of the soul. Things are totally in upheaval for you. You're like going through the cocoon stage, and all of these things are happening. Tower moments left and right. You just like collapse, and all these things are changing in your life. And you're going and doing the inner child work. You're doing the shadow work. You're doing all of those things. You're healing. You're changing your patterns, you're changing your programming. So what's going on now? Why are you losing your friends? So there's something that's occurring when you're doing this. And let's go back to the beginning when I said that you become friends and connect with people based on your frequency. So when you do healing work, you are altering your frequency. When you change your subconscious programming, even when I do hypnotherapy with people and I program new programming and I, thoughts and patterns into their subconscious, that's changing their frequency also, right? And so when we do that, we're no longer fitting with those people anymore. Now we're vibrating at a different frequency. And so you're no longer going to fit. And I'll even go one step further to say that there will be a contrast there. And those people, though you will always see those people how they are, those people will be unable to see you how you are now and where you're at. And that is because the version of you that they created in their mind and that is in their subconscious is the version of you that they knew during that. Some people can see that you're healing and growing and stuff. And you might find that some of the people who are part of some toxic patterns and cycles that you've had, you might even get some pushback from them. They might react negatively to your healing because it's kind of showing a light, shining the light on them and them not doing the healing, and that they're staying at that frequency while you're has something to do with being better, or I'm higher than someone or anything like that. It's just that it's changing, you're evolving, you're growing, and they're not. And so they can sense that. So that's one part of it. And so they might feel a little bit of resentment and stuff. And it has nothing to do with you. It's just their own inner projection and shame that they're feeling because they're unable to be in that place. And some people just will never be in that place. It's not our job to help people grow to where we are. It's never our job to do that. It's not our job to awaken people. It's not our job to do that to other people. People have autonomy, they're sovereign, they have to get there when they get there. So that's part of the reason, but also because they only are able to see the version of you that they have in their subconscious programming, they actually can't see you. It's almost like you're speaking a different language and they are just like, what? Like, this is all gibberish to me now. Like, I don't understand it. It's like kind of like they're totally not it's almost like they can't hear or comprehend what you're saying, especially if you're someone who is very spiritually minded now and are really into healing and doing the inner work and stuff like that. It's not a topic of conversation that they want to talk about. So if you feel like you're talking about stuff like that and people like all of a sudden are like shutting down and like redirecting the conversation right away, like this is a really good indication that like those people are just not able to be at that level. They just aren't able to comprehend that, to see that. And so don't take it personally. It can feel very, hard because they're your friends, your partner, or whoever it is. You want to bring them there. You love them. You care about them. You want them to be at that place. You want them to have that kind of growth that you have, but you can't do anything about it. And you can't leave yourself at the level that you were because you're growing. You're growing and you're evolving and evolving in a different way. And so you're blooming into this new person that you are, transmuting all this energy should never be held back because other people are not going to be growing alongside you. So this is something that is probably one of the hardest parts about doing healing work, is when we lose friends and stuff like that. And there is a moment of isolation and where we feel alone and like we don't connect with other people. But this is a time for us to go inward and be introspective and to really sit with our own shadow and do that inner work and just kind of really, really sit with that, because eventually you will begin to connect with the people. Once you're at that frequency, your vibe attracts your tribe. So you will once again begin that cycle of attracting the people who are similar to you and in that place, in that space, in that frequency, whatever that is for you. And you will connect with people. And the most beautiful thing happens now that you've done healing work and you are able, because healing work is a journey back to you. It is you connecting with yourself. So because you've been able to connect so deeply with yourself, the new people that you connect with in your life, you will be able to connect that deeply with them as well. And it is probably one of the most beautiful parts about healing. So you now can create these new friendships where there is that depth, that vulnerability, that authenticity, and you have that rawness where you talk about these really, really important topics that are so integral to who you are and the new you, the new patterns, the new version of you that has emerged from this cocoon. And so, yes, we do lose friends. Yes, there is grief in that. Yes, there's mourning in that. And it's something we have to honor and we have to sit with, because it's really important to hold space for that loss, because it sucks. It sucks and it feels shitty. If you feel not seen by these people, you feel like they don't make an effort and stuff like that. But